Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Google Pixel 6a and compare it against the Google Pixel 8a that just came out and see which particular phone is the better one for you. Now, the first thing I will definitely tell you between both these devices is that there isn't really one that's like the best one ever made. I think both these phones are very good budget phones. If you have the money, go for the Pixel 8a. But even then, I wouldn't even recommend going up to that particular phone. I would just recommend buying something like a Google Pixel 8 from that particular standpoint, or a Google Pixel 6 or Google Pixel 7. I think those devices might honestly be better than this particular one or either one of these, to be honest. So if you want to pick up those particular phones, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these particular phones, the Google Pixel 6a on the front of this particular phone was giving you a 6.1-inch OLED display. And it was a 1080p display, and it really wasn't that bad. I do think back in 2024, this was or 2022 when this particular phone came out, it was a good panel. I think there's still a lot of love and capability behind this particular phone. And I honestly do think if you're going through and buying and purchasing a device back in 2022, that was a budget phone, this is genuinely not a bad option. So with these types of phones, you're getting a very good rectangular type of display for the most part, but it was a 60 Hz panel. I heard there was a mod for it to go up to 90 Hz, but for the most part, it's stuck at 60 Hz as of this point. Now with something like the Google Pixel 8a, this is definitely a better device in most ways you could probably think about it. With the Pixel 8a, you're basically getting a 6.1-inch OLED display, so same size, but it is a 120 Hz display, and it does get significantly brighter as well. That's a 2000 nits of brightness panel on the Google Pixel 8a, which is amazing. Another big thing to keep in mind is that this is a rounded display, so it does have rounded corners on it, which I actually think is really nice. Having rounded corners is very, very cool, and it makes the phone feel a lot more modern. I like the design language of the Pixel 6a and the 7a, but definitely having more of the rounded corners design I think is a lot better idea in this day and age. Still a little bit of bezel around it, but nothing too terrible. They both have USB Type-C ports on the bottom, which is great. I love having USB-C. And on the back side, you have a little bit of a different design language here too. So with the Google Pixel 6a, you're basically getting a phone that essentially gives you this plastic back, but it still has a big size battery inside of it, 4,410 milliamp battery in size, which is pretty good. The Google Pixel 8a has this almost the same size battery, 4492 milliamp battery, but it's giving you wireless charging this time. So you're going from wired charging to wireless charging, which that in and of itself can be a pretty big difference. So if you're wanting a phone that has a bigger size battery, it's going to be the Pixel 8a, and it's also going to be giving you wireless charging on top of that. So that right there's another very, very big thing to keep in mind. But other than that, the only difference on the outside on the back side is the fact that the Pixel 8a is giving you this frosted plastic back, which is actually very nice. I love having a frosted plastic back over the standard glass or the standard, plastic, the standard plastic back that you're getting on the Pixel 6a. So beyond that, both phones feel very good, but definitely the Pixel 8a feels a lot more premium, I would say, than the Pixel 6a. So that's kind of how both these phones kind of hold up from that particular standpoint. Price tag wise, the Pixel 6a right now is costing about $150 on Amazon. The Pixel 8a is costing $499 on Amazon brand new. You can buy a Pixel 8, I think, on Amazon for less than the Pixel 8a. You might as well go buy the Pixel 8 at that particular standpoint. That price tag, I believe, is just too high for that particular phone, and it just doesn't really make a lot of sense for me to recommend people to buy something like the Pixel 8a because of that price tag. If it was $399, completely different story. But at $499, it definitely seems like an overly priced phone that I probably wouldn't recommend the average person kind of buying from that particular standpoint. So from that side, from the exterior and everything, that kind of covers it up here for the most part. Now, when it comes down to the other side of things, which basically comes down to the cameras, both these phones are giving you dual camera setups on the backside. So with the Pixel 6a, you're getting a 12.2 megapixel wide angle lens and then a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. With the Pixel 8a, you're getting a 64 megapixel wide angle lens, then a 13 megapixel ultra wide sensor. Now you can do 4K at 60 on the back. The front cameras are a little bit different between both. The Pixel 6a is giving you an 8 megapixel wide angle camera on the front that can do 1080p video. The Pixel 8a is giving you a 13 megapixel front facing camera that can give you 4K at 30. So the camera quality definitely is going to be significantly better inside of something like the Google Pixel 8a over the Google Pixel 6a. So just that right there in and of itself, if you're trying to go through and get a better performing camera, definitely the Google Pixel 8a is going to be giving it to you. The only thing that both these phones are missing out on is 4K at 60 on the front side, but for a majority of people, it may not even be that big of a deal. So you might be totally okay if you go ahead and buy something like the Google Pixel 8a camera. And I would tell you, if you're going from a Pixel 6a to a Pixel 8a, the camera is probably going to be one of those things you're going to notice. And on top of that, another big thing is that with the Pixel 8a, you're definitely going to be getting the stronger camera, especially when it comes down to those AI features that Google's been throwing inside of all their phones as of this point. So when it comes down to that side, I definitely would say the Google Pixel 8a is probably going to be giving you the overall better camera here than the Google Pixel 6a, and it probably is going to be a pretty noticeable amount. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there too. From the software side, this is another very interesting thing. So with the Pixels, as we all know, Google does a really good job at improving their software longevity and giving us tons and tons of cool features throughout our whole entire phones. And that's a really nice thing. They're always day one of getting our software updates. And I do think that's a super cool thing that you get when you're getting something like the Google Pixels. But the Pixel 6a was an interesting one because this phone, as far as we know, is going to last as long as the Google Pixel 6. And as you may know right now, the Pixel 6 is kind of the oldest supported Android on, Android 15 right now. It might get another version of Android, but as far as we know, it might be on its last leg of software, which is going to be kind of sad. On the flip side, the Google Pixel 8a is not only just getting started with software updates, this is going to be one of the longest lasting and longest supported, Google Pixels as of this point. The 8a is a $500 phone that you can buy that's going to be getting pretty much the same amount of software updates as the Google Pixel 8. If you remember, the Pixel 8 was pretty pivotal because that phone was giving us a massive amount of software updates when it came down to it. It was like 7 years of software and security updates. And if the Pixel 8a matches that, that's like 6 years of software and security updates as of this point. So that's another super crazy thing going on for that particular phone when it comes down to it as well. So kind of keep that in mind in the back of your head. Now, in terms of performance, this is also another slight difference. The Google Pixel 6a was giving you that Google Tensor, G1 chipset inside with 6 gigabytes of RAM, where the Google Pixel 8a is giving you that Google Tensor G3 chipset inside of it with 8 gigabytes of RAM. So you are getting 2 gigabytes of more RAM inside of the Pixel 8a. But the thing I'll tell you, these chipsets haven't really improved that much as far as I can tell. Like there's been slight improvements, but you're definitely getting the overall better chipset inside of the Pixel 8a. And it is going to be the faster phone, faster chipset, faster everything across the board. But I will tell you, the Google Pixel 6a, for what it is, it's not a terrible performing device. And you can definitely get some decent performance from that thing for the most part. But the big thing to keep in mind here that I would just continue to say forever, the Google Pixel 8a with its, 120 Hz display definitely will perform and seem like it's faster than the Google Pixel 6a. Whenever you take a display that's 60 Hz and compare it to 120 Hz, massive differences. And although it's not the speed of the phone, it's just the fluidity of it. It definitely is another cool thing that the Google Pixel 8a has going for it as well. So to kind of sum it up, what I'll definitely tell you, I like the Google Pixel 6a, and I think for a sub $150 phone, I think it's a pretty decent option, and I would definitely recommend a lot of people, the average person, to go ahead and buy it. But I will tell you, if you have a Google Pixel, if you have the money to spend, buy a Pixel 8. Buy a Pixel 8 or buy a Pixel 7. Those phones are definitely going to be better phones overall than something like the Google Pixel 6a, and maybe even the Google Pixel, 8, maybe even better than the Google Pixel, 7. I think a Pixel 8 is going to be better, but even the Pixel 7 might be better than the Pixel 8a, to be honest, in some cases. So keep that in mind. I'd recommend just buying the Pixel 8 at this point, but that's kind of how I see these two phones kind of holding up in this day and age. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.